Blog Talk Radio.
Basically.
What the hell is that?
I'm sorry. Well.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show.
Welcome to the Will and Thunder Show.
Well, welcome into the Will and Thunder Show. I am Kevin Thunder, and there is a Will Telltale and a Christina, the lady in black, out here somewhere. Welcome into the Will and Thunder Show.
I'm not a Christina.
Damn it. I said a Chris. Did I say Christina? I meant to say Chris. I don't know where that came from. I meant
Christina. I'm not a Christina.
I don't know.
Everyone out there.
You're a Chris. I don't know why I said Christina. I meant a Chris, the lady in black. I don't. God bless America.
It's all right.
I know why you said it, Thunder. Because you're a.
Why? No. I got a lot on my mind today. I've just got a lot of. Shut up. I got a lot on my mind today.
Player. What are you gonna do?
No, it's even worse than that. I'm an old guy and got called an even older guy today.
Oh no!
Oh my God! What happened?
This is horrible. Okay, I'm only 41 years old here. Yes, I have a little gray in the hair. And as I've gotten older, I've put a little weight on here, so I've kind of got the chubby cheeks and all that. One of the girls I work with today, what did he? Huh?
You look like a hobbit, basically.
No, this is even worse than that. I was at work today, and one of the girls I work with who's in her early 20s goes, you look like somebody I know. And I'm like, who's that? She's like, off TV. What's that guy's name? The guy from the Priceline commercials.
Oh, my God. That guy is like 80 years old.
Yes. I was told I look like William Shatner. Not the good-looking.
For his age, he looks really good.
Yes, he's 80. I'm 40. So where does that put me? That puts me in the middle, so I look like I'm 60?
You know what cracks me up, Thunder, is I actually kind of look young for my age, and I've actually been carded. I kid you not, I was carded the night after my 34th birthday. She did not believe I was 34. I'm like, I just turned 34 last night. See, it says right here. But I'll never forget, I was 27, and I went to the store. There was the, back when there was the video rental stores and the video game stores, I had like a coupon. Every month I got a free rental, and it happened to be my birthday, so I got another free rental on top of that. So I went in to redeem it, and the guy looks at my ID, and he's like, wow, you're 27? I'm like, yeah, I'm 27 at the time I was. And he's like, I hope I look as good as you do when I'm 27. I'm thinking to myself, I'm such an old fart, the ancient age of 27. He couldn't have been more than 16 or 17, but I'm just like, my God. Talk about I know he was complimenting me, but you were making me feel old.
Did you even know? She said Priceline, but did she even know him from Star Trek?
No, as I said, I don't look like the good-looking, Captain Kirk. No, I get the Priceline guy. And I'm like, wow, really?
A lot of women think Shatner is sexy, so I take it as a compliment.
And then I'm like, I'm not that old, but I am old enough to be your dad. She's like, how old are you? I'm like, 41. And she's like, yeah, my dad's only 40. I'm like, shut up and walk away from me right now. Walk away. God,
I know.
And the worst part is, like, last week,
I look at some of these people, and it's just, I've got band T-shirts that are older than you. I still have high school clothes that are older than you.
it was horrible. I'm like, really? Of all the people, I mean, it could have been anything else. I'd have been like, oh, that's cool right there. You know, it could have been someone close to my age or even, 5 years older than me, Oh, yeah, you got gray in your beard. You look like the most interesting guy in the world right here. You drink Dos Equis? No, I got William fucking Shatner, the Priceline guy.
How do you know he's
so
not
from now on, and so, like, from now on, like, I'm at work, I'm be like, people are going to be behind me going, Priceline negotiator, and I'll be like, fuck you.
Live long and prosper, Thunder. Live long and prosper. Or is that?
I'm gonna have to get one of those diamond cutting tools and cut holes in the glass windows at work and throw people out of the windows like he does to his daughter's boyfriend or whatever in that last commercial.
God. How do you know the Dos Equis guy isn't 80 years old though? Like
I don't know. Yeah, but he's got a brown beard in the commercial, so he's got to be younger than he looks in the old. I don't know. It's just not fair.
It's a revolutionary new invention that's come out. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called hair dye.
No.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Maybe I need some of that. I need some just for men. I'm gonna go buy some. I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna be that one guy with jet black hair and jet black beard and wrinkles. That's gonna be me. They're like, what's he denying over there? What's his story?
You're the old guy at the club?
Yeah. He's either got old guy syndrome or he's on America's Most Wanted. What's wrong with that guy?
You're up there doing the Macarena.
I have a question, Thunder. When she told you that, and after the shock wore off, did you look at her and say, "You have no idea what you've done to me"?
I almost did, but look, I was so thrown back. I was looking for McCoy to give me a little heart, the defibrillation or something here.
You were like, "Beat me up, Scotty, beat me up."
Get me out of here. I'm like, there's no intelligent life in this restaurant. And look, and I understand she's young.
At least she didn't tell you, hey, you look like my dad, because that's probably the worst, right? I mean,
I've gotten that one before.
No, this is worse because she's like 20-something, so William Shatner's like twice the age of her dad, so it would have been like, oh, yeah, you kind of look like my grandpa. That's what I feel like I just got right there. Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, tonight on the now you can't even talk. Tonight on the Will and Thunder show, we have an exciting guest coming up. We've got Seraphim Ward, and she, of course, was involved in a long and hectic and highly publicized lawsuit with Marilyn Manson. And it's going to be interesting to hear her tell her story. She'll be with us at about 11 Eastern.
Cool.
And we're just going to have a lot of fun. But before we bring her on, we're going to hear a few of her songs, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been chatting with her on Twitter a little bit before the show, and she seems really cool. She's excited to come on and everything, and I think it's going to be a great interview. But I'm curious to know how she got involved in a lawsuit with Marilyn Manson. I mean, I admit I'm fond of the guy's music a little bit, and I'm kind of interested to know what came of that. And I won't ask now, obviously, because we want to save something for this interview. But right.
I'm very interested in hearing it.
I have to get something off of my chest because a while back we had a. What are you doing? What are you doing, Thunder?
You what? What do you mean? What am I doing?
Or something?
I'm not doing anything. What are you guys doing?
Are you getting into the porno stash again?
What the hell? I'm not doing it. I'm sitting here.
It sounded like you said, "I'm shitting here."
No.
That would explain the noise that I just heard.
I know, right?
I've just been sitting here talking with you guys. I haven't done a thing. I swear to you. So if there's something in line, I really.
Is there like a raccoon rifling through your trash bin?
That's what it sounded like.
Right?
I have no idea.
Well, Will's got something he's got to talk about. So after he does his rant, I had an interesting question for all you guys. When so go for it, Will. I'm all ears.
A while back, we had a national band scheduled to be on the show. I'm not going to name any names here because this isn't a jab at the band. This is a jab at the band's crappy management. Now, the interview was scheduled. We even did a special show just to accommodate this band, and basically we started the show expecting them to come on, and no guest. Nobody called. Fast forward to now, I've been in contact with the manager from the band The Killer Dwarfs. They're supposed to be on next week, and about a month ago, he started responding to my emails with like one-word answers. Yeah, no, awesome, stuff like that. I had requested the three MP3s to play like we do from all of our guests, and I never heard anything from him. Well, after last week's show, I sent him another email saying, look, please confirm, because we don't want to do the show with an unconfirmed guest. If we need to find a replacement, that's fine. We can do that. Just let me know. Well, as of right now, I just checked my email about 15 minutes ago. He still had not replied back to me. So I have a theory about this. Maybe that YouTube page that we have for our archive, you look at the show, you look at the number of views that some of these shows have, and they're not very high. Like some of the shows will have some only have 10 or 15 views. But that's not the show. That's not the show. That's an uploaded recording of the show, and it doesn't say anything about the 400 or 500 regular listeners that we have that listen to the show every damn week.
Thank you, all you loyal listeners out there, by the way.
Yes. So it's, I don't know. I'm trying to find a way to, disable the comments.
It's better than my theory, which are all managers are scum. I mean, that's just.
Well, not all of them. For example,
I've never had good experiences with managers in my day.
Sure.
I mean, I don't like to drop names, but I've had even offhanded bad experiences. It just seems like every manager out there that I've dealt with, either directly or indirectly, always acts like they're the rock star and that they just can't be bothered to deal with anyone. And it's just, I don't know.
Seraphim Ward's manager, his name is Dominic Natty, and he's with National Celebs, and that guy's awesome. That guy's gotten us a few guests. Came to us with a few guests in the past. He came to us with Miss Ward, but that guy's awesome. That guy's all about promoting his artists, his clients.
And that's what a good manager should do.
Exactly, but
exactly
when you have these managers of these rock bands, that thinks that oh well, this Will and Thunder show. Look, this show only had 10 views on YouTube. This show, this one has 500 or 600, but I mean, look at this one. The majority of them only have X amount. Well, that's because once again, that's not live listeners. We don't do the show.
Right.
We don't do the show on YouTube. We don't do the show on YouTube. We upload the show to YouTube a couple days after the fact.
Right.
So.
And the thing is, right here, guys, and the thing is, we're here to promote the bands. Whether we have 5 listeners or we have 5,000 listeners, it may be 5 listeners that you didn't know, and those 5 listeners can tell 10 of their best friends, which turns into 50, who tell 5 of their best friends, who turn to 500. And look, here's the deal. We're out here, and we're not doing this for money. We're doing this for fun because we love the music and we love the idea of it. And the thing is, if you think you're better than us, guess what? Remember where they were when they started. They were playing shows in bars for 5 people or 15 people or 20 people. We're doing the same thing here.
That's not.
And you know what? And guess what? No. The point of the matter is, I know it's not the case here, but what I'm saying is this is what you're looking at, and that's what you're judging off of. But guess what? What if people judged you off your first 10 shows you did, and you only had 5 guests, or 5 people at your first 10 shows? You're not going to be a superstar? Well, you ended up selling out arenas because those 5 people told 5 people who told 5 people. So get your head out your ass and look, man, we know what we're talking about here. We're musicians. We love music. We live it and breathe it. And then you know what? Why don't you take a listen to our show? Don't look at the numbers. Take a listen and hear what we do, and then see if you enjoy it. Because I'll tell you what, call any one of our guests that we've had on this show and ask them how much fun the Will and Thunder show is, and how much they enjoy doing it, and how many times they would come back in the future. And that's what it's really about.
I was just going to point out that actually right now that one of our last guests, the guys from Aries, they're already like chomping at the bit to come back. They're like, when are we coming back? When are we coming back? I'm just like, I don't know, whenever you want.
And that's what I'm talking about. And you know what? And guess what? There's going to be a moment in our life here. You know, we've been doing this for 1 year, guys. 1 year now.
Yep.
And guess what? We have guests that are super caliber musicians and superstars in their own right. Just because they haven't been recognized by the record companies and they're not getting the radio play that they deserve doesn't mean that they're not superstars already.
Well, and we've had a few superstars,
too. Oh, I know. But, I mean, no, everybody we've had on our show, or a majority of people we've had on our show have been superstars, in my opinion.
Well, celebrities.
And the point of the matter is, guess what? There's going to be a day when we're big and this jerk-off producer is going to come to our show and go, oh, I got a band for you. We're like, oh, wait a minute. We'll talk to the band, but you know what? Before we book them, I want you to hang up the phone. I want the guitar player for that band or the lead singer to call, and we'll talk with him because you know what? You're a douchebag.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, I mean, to me, this is the difference between our more independently signed guests or our guests that have not experienced that huge kind of fame at some point, or, as opposed to the older bands like the 80s bands. I'm going to call it as I see it. I think that a lot of these bands still believe that they're just the shit, that they're still in the 80s and that they're still selling out arenas, and that they don't need to be bothered with these, in their minds, these little pissant shows like ours that just, they only have 10 YouTube viewers. Why even bother? Like, you know, we're just
it's not that metal show.
Right. Well,
it's not that metal show on MTV. Why am I getting me to call in? Because, dude, you stopped playing arenas 15 years ago. Yeah, you guys just put out a new album, and we still love you, and we want to get your music back out because we want to see you in an arena again. That's why. Because we're the reason that you were big in the first place.
I mean, a lot of these bands, we don't even care if they're not playing arenas anymore. We're just happy that you're still making music and that you're still doing what you love, and we want to hear how you're doing and what's going on with you.
For example, I just think
it's kind of a big, you know.
We had Helix on a couple weeks ago. I actually, I got a promo. I got the hit, the single off of that was Jesus Wasn't Loved in His Own Hometown. I got that one for free, but I went and I bought the album. I liked it. It's really good. And if they would come, I mean, if I have a chance to see them in concert, I will, even now, so many years later. But, so we're not trying to say, we talked to so-and-so. We're not trying to, make a name for ourselves. We've already made somewhat of a name for ourselves. We already have a good core of listeners, and we appreciate them. We get new listeners every week, and we, I hate to go off on a rant like this, but I just had to say it because it's the second time now that I've been jerked around by a manager of one of these 80s hair bands.
Yeah, and it seems to me it's always those bands. It's never like in other words, it's never like the bands like A Sound of Thunder or Aries or even Lindsay Schoolcraft, like even people like that. It's never been those types of people. It's always been, it seems, with our show, always the former 80s in their 80s glory, trying to relive the old days type stuff. And I just think that's messed up. It's get off your high horse. You're not the band.
It's not the band.
It's not a band. It's a
management.
Right,
and I'm saying that to their
core.
manager because, like I said, I've had negative experience with managers, and I think the reason why is a lot of, at least my experience, especially with one particular manager that I'm sure Will knows exactly who I'm talking about. I don't want to name names, but he knows who it is. And that particular person managed a band that was from the 80s and pretty much thought that that person was the band and so on and so forth, and had certain influence over certain members of the band, and that's why things are messed up, were messed up with that particular band for a long time, and they're just now starting to get their crap together. So, and the sad thing is, you know what, and these bands who are out here who are loving the music and trying to connect with the fans, I don't think they realize how much damage that their management can do by little things like this. I say that a lot in defense of these bands because, in my experience, it's always been the managers, whereas the band, when I've set up interviews through the record label, for example, and not dealt with the manager at all. It's always gone smoothly, and the band is always great, and everybody's really cool, but it seems like whenever the manager gets involved, it always becomes this ego show, and it's just, I don't understand why the manager has to have the ego, or isn't the rock star supposed to have the ego? And that I would be used to. It's
anyway,
expected.
let's move on. Let's move on from this. We've got a bunch of new listeners here tonight to hear Seraphim Ward later. But the elephant in the room, obviously, the news of the day. We got to touch on that a little bit because everybody else has. Thunder.
Is it the bad news that's going around?
No, it's just a little something that kind of, aggravates me a lot. I grew up in Central Florida, and the junior high and high school I went to was very diversified racially. And it really aggravates me right now, this whole thing in Ferguson, that it's made so much to be a black and white issue. Because, to me, it's not black and white. This is a judicial issue right here. And Al Sharpton and everybody, you guys there?
Yeah,
I'm listening.
Okay, I thought I heard something in the background. It just aggravates me.
Hold on, Thunder.
I'm sorry.
Let's keep this short. We're not a political show, but
I understand.
Yeah.
Last night, as soon as everything came down, I looked on Facebook, and it was what I thought it was going to be. The black people on Facebook were like, oh, this is an outrage, blah, 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 blah. And the white people are like, no, it's not a black and white issue right here. This is a 18-year-old man, not a kid. It's not a kid. He's an 18-year-old guy who was a thief who confronted a police officer. Now, I don't know the exact situation. I haven't read through all the details of the court case, but it was an altercation between a man and a police officer.
All I know is that he was unarmed when he was shot, and his body was left out there for 4.5 hours before somebody picked it up. Other than that, I have no idea about the details. And the only people I feel for are his family, because no matter what you think about the person or what crime they committed or what they did, that person still had loved ones that are grieving and sad and upset, and I feel for them. So that's where my sympathy is right now.
And my sympathy goes out to his parents. But I also, right now in my county, the county where I work, it's right next to the county I live in, there was a white kid who was killed by a police officer. And not exact circumstances, but similar. And I don't see Al Sharpton here. The thing is because it was a cop that killed a perpetrator. And I'm tired of the white and black situation being involved in there. I believe the judicial system. It went through the courts right here, and they did not find proper cause in this court to put him on trial. If it goes to federal court and they find reasons.
We weren't on the jury. They were privy to evidence that we didn't hear or we didn't see. So in the end, we can have our opinions, but we are not the ones to make the final decision. Me personally, I lived through the LA riots in 1992, and all I kept hearing last night on the news is, this is nothing like the LA riots. This is nothing like the LA riots. And all I see in the background is like, really? I could have sworn I just time warped back into 1992 because it looks exactly like the LA riots. It looks exactly like what went on back then. And it saddens me that in all these years that nothing has changed, that we learned absolutely nothing from Rodney King and all of that. And you would think that everything that we went through with that and the way that that we were divided as a country and especially in Los Angeles, that people would get it together and try to not, to try and be nicer to each other and to not always make things an issue or to not find trouble where there isn't any. And it's just sad to me that in all these years we learned absolutely nothing, that it's still just the same old shit as before.
Exactly.
And that's what makes me sad.
What's so frustrating to me is that people in their community that spent their life savings and their, whole hard life, 25-plus years building businesses in that community to help everybody in that community, lost their life last night because of somebody was pissed off because somebody didn't make the right decision and they burned their business to the ground.
Yep.
And,
took their complete livelihood away.
I was watching one of the talk shows this morning, and they brought up a good point. I mean, you basically are shitting in your own backyard. You're burning down the businesses that you need to use. You just burnt down the clothing store that you buy your kids' clothes at school time. You just burned down the meat market store that you buy food. And you're not.
So now you have to spend an extra $2 a day to go to the grocery store and 45 minutes longer to ride the bus to get to where you need to go to get your groceries. Or another $10 in gas to go across town to get you. It makes no sense. People across the world have riots.
Back then, and it doesn't make sense to me now.
Right. I mean, you look around the world and people have riots because they're being told that as a female, you're not allowed to talk or drive a car. I understand people standing up and going, no, I'm a human being. I have those rights. But this is a court case. You know what? And I stand by our judiciary system. It's what's kept us going as long as we have. And I believe I have the right that right now because of what happened in Ferguson, Missouri, if somebody broke into my house with a gun and they were a black man and I'm a white man and I shot them, I'd have to think twice and go, I'm going to get in trouble for this because I'm defending my life.
Well,
and one of my kids could get shot.
Right.
No, I should be able to trust in the judiciary system.
I'm probably going to cause a controversy right now, but because I know a lot of people are not fans of the president, and I get that, but he brought up a good point this afternoon, too, when he said, I've never heard of anybody who changed anything by burning down a car or burning down a house. And that's so true. Yeah. And that is true. I mean, we've never been compelled to change things because somebody burnt down our house. We normally are compelled to change things by, like he said, going out and voting or working actively to spread awareness about this particular thing that you want to change. So that was a good point also, and it's a shame that more people don't pick up on that and actually do that. But
it just goes to show on human nature. Human nature is so cruel, man. We talk about things, oh, well, we're human. I mean, and bring ourselves above so many things. But in all honesty, look back at history. Every person who has tried to preach peace and unity has been killed.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Murdered.
Everybody.
Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, Gandhi. I mean, and you can go Bob Marley. I mean, you just go on, John Lennon, go on and on and on. Everybody who preached, let's all be friends, let's do this together, gets shot in the head. And that's something to think about.
Well, there's a lot of money and profit to be made in division, and that's where the crux of things is, basically. There's a lot of people and businesses out there who thrive on our being divided and our not liking each other or not understanding each other or not being tolerant of one another, and they would just lose everything if we suddenly realize that, hey, we don't need to pick a fight with this person. We can actually get along and coexist and be nice to each other. Yeah. So, I mean, there's billion-dollar companies that market themselves on us feeling like shit about ourselves, let alone feeling like shit about everybody else.
Are you ready to put this on a lighter note?
Yeah, actually, I was going to actually...
Here we go. You ready? All right. I did not realize that Bob Marley... Hold on. I didn't realize that Bob Marley, John Lennon, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr. were all bass players.
I was just about to bring up bass players.
And if you ever listen to this show, you will understand that joke. But anyway, and I just had to say that I thought it was just trying to be a little ironic, but anyway. That was just to lighten the mood a little bit. Anyway.
It's a long-running joke that would take the rest of the show to explain, so just bear with us and know that it's an inside joke, and the more you listen to the show, the more you'll get the joke. But
that's right.
Of bass
or go
players,
back and listen to our archive and come those.
I have to ask you guys, speaking of bass players, did you guys watch The Simpsons on Sunday night when Sammy Hagar was on there?
I did not.
No, I did not.
But
Thunder, I thought of you the entire time.
I've got a Simpsons story for the news, so let's just go ahead and kick off the news.
A lot of bass players.
Let's go ahead.
That's all I'm going to say.
I read the news today, oh boy. Have you read the news? Hey, have you read the news?
That's a badass guitar player. All right, welcome to the news on the Will and Thunder Show. I got a few stories. I've got one about The Simpsons, ironically enough.
Yay!
A while back, there was a Simpsons episode about stealing, pirating music and stuff like that, and Judas Priest was on it.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob Halford,
the one where they're called a death metal band?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Judas Priest, death metal. But Rob Halford came out. Rob Halford.
Freudian slip. Hello, listen to my music. No, anyway.
Damn it. Rob Halford.
That's going to be a drop one day. I know that.
Rob Halford said in an interview that doing the Simpsons was the thrill of his life.
Oh, I imagine it was pretty awesome.
It was pretty awesome, yeah. But when
when you're the lead singer of Judas Priest and you say doing the Simpsons is the thrill of your life, right? Look, didn't you just do a world tour?
Yeah, but The Simpsons, you're immortalized in a way that being just in Judas Priest does not necessarily give you, because in Judas Priest, and you're immortalized among metalheads, but you're on The Simpsons, you're immortalized in pop culture and to everybody. So I totally understand what he means.
I understand what you're saying there. I mean,
I guess it just struck me.
Donuts.
It just struck me as really weird that Rob Halford would say that out of everything that he's accomplished, everything that he's done, when he's lying in his deathbed and everything, or when he's doing his memoirs.
At least I was on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, there's a lot of other bands out there who can never say that, who are way more popular or mainstream than Judas Priest. So I get what he's saying there a little bit.
And which blows my mind that in American history, the longest running sitcom in American history is The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, there are literally people on this planet that have never known a world before The Simpsons existed.
That's
like
scary.
literally, The Simpsons has been on all their lives. They do not know that there was a time when they were not on the air. I vaguely remember the time they were not on the air.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, The Simpsons originated on MTV, did they?
No, they originated on the Tracy Ullman Show, which was one of the first shows to air on Fox.
Okay.
I think it was Married with Children, Tracy Ullman, and then something else. I don't know that.
Maybe that's what. I know that they originated off another show. I thought it was MTV.
No,
it was the Tracy Ullman Show. You're thinking of Beavis and Butthead.
No, I was thinking of it. I know that Beavis and Butthead were on MTV. I know that's where that originated from. But I I really thought it was MTV that they originated off of. Those
No,
little skits.
because the skits on Tracy Ullman were so popular that's how they were compelled to make a show about The Simpsons. It was the most popular skit on her show. So, hey, let's make
well, there we go.
Series
Well,
out of
see,
it
I
and
was
see where
wrong.
it goes.
Well,
I just that's fine. I was wrong.
It's
I mean,
all right.
I just thought,
It's all right, Thunder. Don't be
all right,
hard on
Thunder.
yourself.
We don't have any bass player stories tonight.
it's all right.
Yeah, you
I'll
have
be
to
okay.
go watch last week's episode of The Simpsons, though, so you can hear all the bass player jokes, because they
will,
were hilarious.
and I'll watch, and I'll download it illegally too.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. I wanted to make sound clips of all the bass player jokes, but I don't have the episode, so
Oh, I gotta get that. I gotta get that.
But one
I
of the jokes
I'm gonna watch
basically
it.
is that Homer riffs on one.
No,
I think he
no
gets
spoilers. Not listening. I'm not listening.
Okay.
No spoilers. Damn it! I hate
It's
spoilers.
a joke.
Yes,
When you
go
hear
ahead,
the
tell
joke,
me.
You'll laugh your ass off.
Damn it! I'm gonna kick both y'all's asses right now if you
I
tell
didn't
me
spoil
anything.
anything. I just
Anyway, next story. After 10 years with Megadeth, Sean Drover, the drummer, has quit.
Did he give a reason why?
Just wanted to move on. That's all. Just wanted to move on. Maybe he wants to go play for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I don't know.
Now, I've kind of lost track of the revolving merry-go-round circus of former Jeff Tate band members, but didn't he play in Jeff Tate's band for a minute, for a second there, or am I thinking of the other Drover that played in
That was the other Drover.
Okay. But they were both in Megadeth at one point or another, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't want to be a part of the conspiracy to kill their bass player.
But he's a drummer.
Right,
Wait a
you didn't
minute,
want
hold
to
on.
be in the conspiracy.
I think Thunder's onto something there. I think he might be onto something there because the longest member standing of Megadeth, other than Dave Mustaine, is Dave Ellison, the bass player.
And didn't he get kicked out at one point too?
Yeah, and he was replaced. Oh my God, he was replaced by the bass player from White Lion.
Wow.
Well, they're an
That's
all right
a
band,
combination.
but I don't think they were mostly known for their bass players, however.
True. And then another.
No bands are known by their bass players unless they're shot.
What? No.
Primus.
That's not true.
I'm kidding. No, I'm joking. I was just being disgruntled there for a minute.
Oh, well, I got
Go ahead.
For you when we get into history. But last story, we talked a while back about AC/DC's drummer trying to hire a hitman. Well, he showed up in court today. He showed up for court late, and as he was pulling into the parking lot, he wrecked his car with into a truck that was trying to pull out.
Oh God!
That's nice.
Right after the other. Oh God!
Now, did they ever try and figure out who he was trying to kill?
Not
yeah, I
anything
thought the charges were dropped.
Well, apparently, unless he was brought in for something else. I mean, I've had a busy week. All I did was read headlines and like the first couple sentences of the story that I got. So I haven't done my homework. But
okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, maybe it was the bass player.
Look, I'm telling you right now, I'm starting research for my book. I told you last week I'm writing a book. So
but
the
wait, isn't Malcolm Young
dead.
the bass player, and doesn't he not play bass anymore in AC/DC because he's not well?
Right, and they replaced him with his son.
Right.
So keep it in the family.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you guys. Anyway.
Yeah, take a page out of the Van Halen playbook there.
Yeah. So that now I got three really, really, really good stories for history. So let's go ahead and do that.
And now, this week's
All right, we got some really good ones, like I said. Now, how far back do you think that I mean, we're not going to talk about like the Motown and stuff like that, because I mean, this is let's be honest, this is a rock and metal show. But how far back? Nothing's wrong with Motown. But how far back do you think that rock history actually goes?
Rock history itself. I'm gonna go. And that's a tough call. I mean, it depends on what you consider rock and roll music. You go back to the 50s.
Would you consider the jukebox rock and roll? The
origin? I consider rock and roll to be anything that was considered rock and roll, like since the phrase was coined in the 50s.
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
November 23rd of 1899.
All right.
1899. The first jukebox. The first box ever was installed in in the San Francisco Palace Royal Hotel. It was called the Nickel and the Slot Machine, and it had no amplification system. It was just a regular phonograph, and the way that you listened to it was listening tubes that stuck off of it. Kind of like when people share their little earbuds off of their MP3 players today.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the first ever jukebox, November 23rd, 1899.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling you were going to go back like Mozart times and, mention that today in rock history, Wagner composed his the Flight of Valkyrie.
Right, well, you have to look at it back. In those days, there were certain composers, obviously, that were a lot more adept to playing music that was louder and faster and...
Right. Well, have you guys ever seen that the Metal Evolution series, right, where they tie in classical music to metal and mention there are some composers that if they were alive nowadays, they would be considered like an Eddie Van Halen or King Van or...
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I just thought that was really interesting. Now, guess how in the first 6 months. Take a wild guess at how much revenue that one jukebox brought in.
Either it hardly made anything at all, or it made money hand over fist.
The first 6 months.
I would say it made a lot of money, but back then would be $700, which would have been $1 billion.
You're close. In the first 6 months that the jukebox was in the Palace Royal Hotel in San Francisco, it brought in $1,000.
Wow, nice.
Which is, it's like $1 million now.
That's a
you
shit
could
ton
buy
of
like a
nickels,
mansion
too.
back then for $1,000.
That's a shitload of nickels.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, I'll let you have that one.
Well, that's why I always say I would love to live in. I think I would have loved to live in the 1800s because that's the only time period where I could actually afford anything. Like, oh my God, I have a nickel, I can buy stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I hear like my grandparents used to talk, and my wife's grandmother, she was born in 1925. All right, she's still alive now, and she remembers like when you went to a store and they actually had penny candy, where you gave them a penny and you got a bag of candy, a bag full of candy. Now, like, you go into a store like, I got a penny, what can I get? And they're like, you can get the fuck out. That's what you can get.
Yeah, you can turn around and get out.
I mean, really? Man.
Moving on. November 24th, 1991. A legendary singer died.
Yes. I posted this on my wall yesterday. Very sad.
Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
And I can still remember where I was and what I was doing when I heard that on the radio, the announcement, followed by the premiere of the song "Show Must Go On." I mean,
which is my all-time favorite Queen song.
Yeah,
it gives me the chills, man. You know what? I didn't hear the announcement. I didn't hear that song played, but every time, Will, that you talk about it, it gives me chills. I can feel the moment right there. 'Cause one of the greatest singers of all times, right there.
Yes, absolutely.
And for him to put a patronage to himself there, and like, guys, don't mourn for me. The show must go on. It's one of the most amazing, most iconic music moments of all times.
Yeah.
And just the story behind the recording of that song is just incredible. I mean, he was in really bad shape. He was trying to sit down, and he kept messing up. So finally he got frustrated. He said, "You know what? Screw this." He stood up, grabbed a bottle of vodka, took a huge chug off of it, did the entire song in one take.
Right.
But yeah, rest in peace, Freddie. But also on that exact same day, another rather famous musician died too, and it was kind of overshadowed because of Freddie. Eric Carr, the drummer from Kiss.
Right. Who passed away of cancer, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was cancer. Now, I saw Kiss in concert on the Hot in the Shade tour, like probably earlier that year, or it might have been '90. But
well, I always heard about both of them, about both Freddie Mercury and Eric Carr, about how towards the end of their lives they were even more determined than ever to rock out and make music and never complain. And when they knew their time was up, they're just like, I want to go and make even more music and have even more to leave behind before I go.
These days, Justin Bieber has a tummy ache and cancels the whole tour.
I know, right?
Yeah. And also on November 27th, Kevin DuBrow of Quiet Riot died. That was, and I didn't write down the year. Oops.
I think it was 2007.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But a band that I was in opened for Kevin DuBrow of Quiet Riot back in 2004. Ironically enough, we opened for two bands that night. We also opened for Warrant. Well, Janie Lane of Warrant, and they're both dead. So it's like, am I a death sentence on singers? Like, if this guy opens for you, you're gonna die.
Not unless you're going around carrying alcohol poisoning or drug overdoses, because that's how both of them died. I think Janie died of alcohol, right?
I partied with Deep Purple, and I was keeping up with them at drink for drink. I was keeping up with Ian Gillan. Okay.
Nice. That's saying a lot, because the Europeans can pretty much drink their asses off.
Right now,
Americans can too. Trust me.
They probably started drinking a lot earlier than I did, though.
But you also said you're a very tall guy, so you could probably hold a lot more liquor than most average folks. Like, I had the guys from everybody at the Sound of Thunder bought me a drink when I was with them a couple weeks ago, and I'm such a lightweight, I didn't even make it. They're like, have a drink, and all right, I'll do it. I never drink, and I didn't make it. I'm just like, I can't have any more. Bye. This is about as far as I can go. I know that's not very metal, but it is what it is.
Metal doesn't mean you have to drink or do drugs, man. Metal means you have to live a lifestyle that enjoys music and being a little wild and crazy in any which way. It doesn't have to be with just alcohol and drugs by any means.
Metal is my drug. Metal is my alcohol.
That's right.
And it doesn't give you a hangover. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You may wake up with a headache and a sore neck, but that's because you had a good time the night before, not because you drank too much.
I never have a headache
when you wake up with
metal.
when you wake up with a hangover, that also means that you had a good time the night before.
True.
The difference is you might remember why you had a sore neck just from headbanging.
True.
Yeah, well, you know, I've never had that problem.
Now, I saved the very
You're not
best.
doing it right.
I saved the very best story for last.
Is it a bass player story?
It's not. It's
Probably.
a Jerry Lee Lewis story.
Oh, yes.
Nice. All right, another murderer that got away with things. All right, just like O.J. Simpson. Go ahead.
You didn't murder anyone.
For those new listeners, that's another thing that's kind of recurring. We're doing Jerry Lee.
That's the root of the
guy
inside
is really.
joke.
Why do you keep doing this to me, man? Really? Fuck.
Long story short, JerryLee Lewis shot his bass player in the stomach twice trying to shoot a.
And married his cousin. That fucking.
And married
anyway.
his cousin.
Yeah.
We're finding out all this stuff about Jerry Lee Lewis, so it's like, okay, every time I see a Jerry Lee Lewis story, I'm gonna go with it just because we're building a profile here. Now, November 23rd of 1976. It was November 23rd and November 25th. Jerry Lee Lewis was arrested 2 times in 2 days.
That's so metal.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis is he was metal before there was
We've
metal.
got to get him on the show. I mean, we've mentioned him so much on the show. We've got to figure out a way to get him on the show.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We have to have him on the show before we die. Like, seriously.
Or before he dies.
Yeah,
is he still alive?
He's already dead, that fucker.
He's already dead?
He wasn't.
Damn it.
Huh?
Anyway,
Sorry,
hope
Thunder,
so.
it's all right.
For my sake.
23rd, he was arrested 2 times in 2 days. First time for driving drunk. He got a DUI because he drove his Rolls Royce into a ditch.
Poor guy.
But
awesome.
But the second time he was arrested because he drove to Graceland, started making a ruckus like outside of it, demanding to see Elvis and waving a pistol around. So he was trying to shoot
this was far after Elvis had died, right?
76. Elvis is still alive.
Oh, when he
Elvis
did
doesn't even play bass.
What? What did Thunder say?
He says Elvis
doesn't even play bass. The fucking acoustic guitar, jackass. Count the
He
strings,
already
you
graduated
fucker.
from bass players. He was working to the
Quit
singers.
drinking. Quit drinking, you fucker. Learn how to use the pistol. It's got 6 strings. It's called an acoustic. See the big hole in the box? You fucker.
Go home, Jerry. You're drunk.
God dang. He was probably trying to shoot another bass player when he wrecked his Rolls Royce in the ditch.
Well, he had to find a replacement for the other one.
Well, it's good thing.
Right.
Good thing he's dead now. Good thing he's dead now. We're safe.
Elvis or Jerry?
Flee. You don't have to worry about it, Les. We're good. Jerry's gone. Now, the other Jerry Lewis has a telethon. We love you, man. You know, and the MS people. Dude, if the other Jerry Lewis had a telethon, he'd be like, yeah, send me money so I can kill more bass players.
No, actually, I'm
with
the late Sam Kinison on Jerry Lewis. Either the cash or the cure, Jerry, because I have muscular dystrophy. So, like, either the cash or the cure. Either cough up some cash so I can enjoy life, or give me
at least he was trying to
already.
do something good right there, you know. He was telling jokes and shit. He wasn't running around killing people.
We don't know that.
Hey, wait a minute.
No, I don't know.
I just looked it up. Guess what, Thunder? Jerry Lee Lewis is still alive.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah,
all right, I'm going in there. All right, listen. Call the FBI right now because I need to get into protective custody right now.
Yeah, he's still alive. That's what I'm saying. We have to get him on the show.
Windows. There's too many windows in my studio. There's too many windows.
There's too many bars on your windows.
No, there's not enough right now.
Yeah,
are we going to
those
send you
bars
back to
aren't
the
going to stop
again?
a bullet.
God bless America. I'm not going to sleep good forever now. How old is this guy? How old is he anyway? Where does he live? I'm going to find him.
Where does he
Where does he live?
John Dawkins.
Yeah, of course. They're roommates. They're sharing a flat in New York City, the fuckers.
Hold on. Jerry Lee Lewis is almost as old as William Shatner.
Shut the fuck up. See, that's my cover. I'll be like, look, I've got you a great price on a room.
Hey, you better hope that Jerry Lee Lewis is a Trekkie.
Yeah,
I hope so.
You know, he might get the aliens to come back for you, Thunder.
Fuck.
It all ties
together. It's a fucking conspiracy. This is bullshit.
Oh man.
Fuck.
Oh God, that's awesome.
He's really still alive? The piano playing motherfucker.
Like, why do you keep saying Jerry Lee Lewis is dead? I almost had to Google it because I'm like, maybe he did die, and I just didn't hear about it.
I did Google it.
Where does he live?
My computer's running a little slow today.
No,
so,
don't tell me. Do not say that over there. Don't tell me. I don't want to know because something's gonna happen tomorrow. Be like, there's a freak accident. Jerry Lee Lewis is gonna die, and they're gonna try and pin it on this guy right here, disgruntled bass player. I'm like, no, I swear to God.
Now you just basically
I was
buried
just
yourself.
joking. It was just a fucking bit. I promise. God bless. I hope you live forever, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah. That's probably the way to go on that one.
Better safe than sorry.
I can't win. I'm either going to get killed or I'm going to jail.
Yeah, or the nut house or
abducted by aliens.
You know what? I'm just gonna start playing guitar and shoot myself.
Shoot yourself. Oh my God.
That was funny. I don't care who you are.
I'm still laughing. Oh, we're having too much fun.
Hi, this
All
is
right.
Barman George of Overlord SR, and you're listening to the Will and Thunder Show.
All right.
Woo. Nothing but love right there.
Yeah, let's
Why
go
can't
ahead
everybody
and,
love bass players like that? Anyway.
Let's go ahead and break. We're gonna play the song "Still" off of Seraphim Ward's new album, and she's in the chat room. Hopefully, she'll call in here while the song's playing, and we'll bring her on. And we'll be right back on the Will and Thunder Show.
Come on back, guys.
Word for word, I know.
All right, well, welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That, of course, was the song "Still" from Seraphim Ward. She's not with us. I'm sure she'll be calling in with any second now. But Thunder, I was listening to something in that, and it kind of made me, think that song might have been dedicated to you a little bit. She kept saying I could still be saved. With all this talking about Jerry Lee Lewis and everything coming to get you. Maybe
that's right. And that's what it's about right there. That's why I'm doing that research. And you know what? I'm going to get the bass players of this world right now together. And just wait. You're going to see it one day. It's going to look like the WWF. You're going to see a picture of me, the Thunder Midget, with Flea, Les Claypool. We're going to find Jerry Lee Lewis, and we're going to take down the guitar and lead singing Illuminati that's trying to get rid of us. We are the foundation. We're the foundation. You may be the top tier right there, the little point with the eyeball, but we're on the bottom right here, and we would hold you together. We'll get you. I promise you. I'm not scared. I'm not sitting by the window right now, but I'm not scared.
You better pick up Jesse Ventura along the way because he's really good at those conspiracy theories.
Exactly. Look, that's my conspiracy. He's my theorist right there. What do they call him nowadays? He's not part of my cabinet, but he's my czar. That's right. That's my bass player czar right there. You worry about it. And hey, Jerry Lee Lewis, be afraid. And you too, Dockin. We got our eye on you. We're there. We're ready. We're coming in force.
You ready?
The thundering horde right there. You'll hear it coming. It'll be like, do. Like, what's that sound right there? I really don't hear anything, but I feel it. I'm like, that's a bass. Bass to the face. That's our movement. That's our movement right there. Bass to the face.
To the face.
Awesome.
Anyway, are you ready? Because now we've got.
Yeah, I see a 213 area code. Is she from California?
Now we've got Seraphim Ward on the show with us. Welcome to the show, Miss Ward. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
We're doing good.
Welcome on into the Will and Thunder Show.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank
you for listening to our nonsense for a minute right there. But how do you feel about bass players?
I actually like bass players. I've never dated one before, ironically.
Well, you know what? There's always a chance.
Well, I kind of like lead singers, and I did date one keyboardist, but I just haven't gotten to the bass players.
I'm a lead singer. I also play guitar.
That's the story of my life right there. Story of my life.
You guys are married. You guys are taken already.
I know. I've been just saying. Back in the day, a story of my life right there. Like I'm just a bass player.
Well, you're like that
that
picture that goes around on Facebook of the stick figures, where the guitar player has all the girl stick figures and then the bass player has the one guy's stick figure.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Really, it is. All right, that's why I'm still in therapy. All right, thank you, Facebook.
So, basically, I was how do you pronounce your name? Is it Sarah? I want to make sure I say it right.
Seraphim. Seraphim
okay.
Ward is the full name.
Okay. I just, I was when Dominic emailed me about you, I was intrigued by your story, and I didn't really get too much into it because I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear it for myself. So
okay.
Let's just turn. You have the floor.
So for right from the top, tell us your situation of where you're at now. We know that you were a filmmaker.
Yes, I
and
do.
Musician.
Mhm. I specialize in occult horror film, and the music I do is more like industrial goth, but since it's crossover, it's like dark pop.
Okay.
Yeah. So a better word would be called vamp dark pop. You know what I mean? Kind of like a female 9 Inch Nails, or if you think of Lestat as being a musician as the Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, kinda actually, your music reminded me a lot of the 69 Eyes from Finland. They're kind of like a vamp goth type sound.
Mhm. And of course, you see my rituals. I do like rituals and stuff. Well, I'm Creole, so I kind of like incorporate that in my show, and also my videos. So yeah, that's why you see like a lot of ritualistic kind of things. But it's not voodoo though. I don't practice the craft. I don't do that.
Right. Cool.
Sound like
so you don't practice the crap, but you use it in your show for visuals, but you don't actually practice the craft.
Well, no. Okay, I know the craft. In other words, like I don't do hexes on people. Like.
Thank you. Good deal.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a good soul. In other words, like I don't believe in willing things for my own will. I do more for the benefit of other people. So basically, when I say I don't do the craft, I do, but not for evil. Basically, what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
Right.
So like this was Wizard of Oz. You're the White Witch versus the Black Witch, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
I am both.
Okay.
Yeah, from my understanding, there's good magic and bad magic, and you can choose to do either. I'm not really.
Right, but it's only one power, one magic, and it depends on the person whether you use it for good or for evil. So it depends on the moment and the situation. If it's a bad situation, then I would consider it still good because I'm defending myself. But for them, it would be bad.
Right. Well, in my opinion, I consider that to an extent. I mean, good to an extent if you're defending yourself in one way is. But if you're out there, in a vigilante style way and just causing havoc, would be a different.
Power, in other words, Thunder.
No, I'm not saying I would. No, I am actually a very nice person, and I do for others more than I do for myself. I'm a bass player.
As long as you're not near Jerry Lee Lewis.
Well, that's a different situation, and that would be for self-preservation.
That's funny.
You have not listened to this at all, Chris. You have not paid attention. He's killing bass players. He's killing bass players. I have to do something to stop him.
All right, we're going to get him on the show. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get him on the show.
Yeah, we have
anyway,
to. This is like our new mission in life.
But we have a guest now. Let's focus on her.
I understand.
Yeah, I want to hear more about your music because I really dig it. I thought it was awesome.
Thank you.
I did too. I thought it was awesome as well.
Well, what do you want to know about it? If you tell me to dive in, it's a very messy pod. I can start from anywhere, but if you.
Well, how long have you been playing, or when did you start writing your own songs? Stuff like that.
I've been writing my own songs for since I was stuttering. That was a long time ago. Because I had a speaking impediment basically, and that's how I got into writing. Was because I started to write more than I would to speak because people would make fun of me, and. Yeah, so then when that went away, I just kind of I don't know, my intelligence was kind of elevated because I just read books. I would write, you know what I mean? I would write scripts. That's why I have the deal I have now, basically 6 movies for 3 years, which I still have to finish making, and they extended it for me, so that was, pretty good. They did that since the whole scandal thing happened during that time. Took up most of my, my productive time shooting.
Right. Now,
when did you start getting into movies and stuff like that?
Well, I went to film school. That was in 2010, the beginning of 2010. I've always been able to write, like I said, but I wanted to get the more technical end of it, like the lingo. I wanted to be an official filmmaker instead of just one who swings up a camera and just try to shoot. Because my visuals are already there, the stories are already there. I already knew how to shoot it, but I just kind of wanted to make it official, basically. So
yeah, you just needed the basic to make it to put it on paper, I guess, to say that you have the know-how to do all this stuff.
Right, exactly that.
And the terminology.
Yeah, and plus, when you direct, there's certain terms you use when you direct. It's certain talk that you talk to the actors or to the crew. You know what I mean? That's an accustomed language. So, I didn't want to get on the table hey, you, do this, do that. And they're like, what? So it's actually a term you use for certain things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually went to school for film and video production, And we didn't get that far involved in it. We did a lot in special effects and, first in just, the idea of cinematography and things like that. And there's a lot involved into it. I mean, if you have a hand to start with, is one thing. And as you're saying, you're right, it's the terminology, because especially when you're young and you're starting out and when you're out there and you're trying to do a project right there, and you're right, there is terminology that goes into it. Because when you're sitting there and you're trying to get it done and you don't know the terminology, you're like, okay, well, all right, you're trying to, I guess actor one, or you call them by name or what so have you. There is ways. I mean, there's a structure to it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I think you have to have some kind of universal language that all the actors,
right.
No matter where you go or who you're working with, they all kind of understand what you're talking about and what's going on and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, including like the camera guys. Like I always have a camera in my hand, like I said, because I don't ever want to be that camera. I just can't like hire a camera guy to shoot while I direct. That will probably never happen in my day. Because then I'm all like,
really?
Like, what is he seeing behind the camera? Yeah, because I'm a visionary, and since I've already seen what I've written in my head, like I've actually seen the whole world. Like,
wow!
It's hard to put that into somebody else. It's hard to put that in somebody else's hands when you have your vision of what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can't trust that they're going to see it the same way you do, even if you draw a map and explain word by word what it is, because everybody has a different vision. It's just like when you read a book and then you go and see the movie and it looks totally different from how you vision it in your head.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the projects we did right there, and I was the camera guy, cinematographer, or what have you. And exactly, when we sat down and when we did our production meeting at the beginning of the day, this is how we're going to do things. And I had an idea in my head of how this is going to work. And it would only work if I put the camera where I thought it should be, or, the angles. I mean, this is not going to work. If you're sitting right here and the camera's right here, that's not, the image of where I'm trying to get it right here.
Right.
It's got to be a certain, and I understand exactly what you're saying, which, I mean, and I never thought about it that deeply when you're watching a movie, but yeah, when you have cameramen, and in a lot of movies you have so many different camera angles and all that, where you have to have extra cameramen.
Well, the thing is, like, that's why they do, like, a storyboard where you try to, illustrate that. And also you have, like, they have a marked on the floor, like, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. So you kind of, like, have a meeting beforehand. But I'm just telling you, from my experience, it doesn't even matter. because the camera guy, like, a couple of the camera guys that I have for the Angel One Eye, because that's my first film, by the way. And of course, like they've done more movies than I have. Like I am what they call I'm like one of the first occult horror filmmakers. So basically, he did I forgot the name of that movie with the blue people, whatever it was. But he was a camera guy on that, and he was already set in his ways. Well, you can't be set in your ways if you're not the director and you're not the writer of the movie. Avatar. So he was the camera guy for Avatar.
Wow.
Yeah. So he also was on my films doing camera work. And it's like, I understand that, that you have a resume like that, but this is not what this film is about. So basically,
exactly.
Yeah, so I'd kind of like go, head to head with a couple camera guys so that, okay, so you have to do it this way or else it's not going to work out. And then that's why I cannot.
This is my vision.
Exactly. And well, the thing is, like, of course they're older than I am, and that's another thing too, because I am a young filmmaker. In the film genre eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, I don't know. Like, every time I see a director or a filmmaker, they're always older, besides Rob Zombie. And like, he is like an influence of mine, by the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
great filmmaker, by the way. Great filmmaker.
I was about to ask if your movies were similar in style, like not in style, but in the same genre.
Well, yeah,
so
because I would have considered his as a cult horror.
Absolutely.
They haven't officially said it, but that's what it does. You know what I mean? So, like, he's a great influence of mine, and my movies aren't like his in a way that, the whole Chainsaw Massacre, like, essence. Mine is more, like, on the spiritual end, more like I said, like the ritualistic, the demons, the gods, the dimensional beings, the paranormal, the supernatural. Mine's more creative like that. But, like I said, he is an influence in his mind and his work ethics. Like, he's doing movie and music at the same exact time, film music. He's doing them both great. Like, he didn't choose one or the other, and he's doing, great. So I'm like, I have this gift for writing, I have a gift for movies, and I have a gift for singing. So why should I choose one or the other?
Exactly.
And that's awesome. And you know what, your movies to me sound like what we were talking about on our Halloween special, Thunder, about horror movies, different types of horror movies, and there's horror movies that maybe are like more like Rob Zombie's that are blatantly terrifying.
Slasher,
like they go into
exactly.
blood in the guts, and then yours sound more like the old school horror movies that we like, that are scary by what they imply and don't show on the camera, rather than what we're seeing from the violence or whatnot.
Like The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Right.
Well,
that movie right there.
Well, see,
that's more spiritual.
Exactly. It's more spiritual, but you still do see the demons. You still do see like the reptilians, the dimensional beings, things like that. So mine still was like actual dimensional beings that,
Right.
You know what I mean? So like Rob Zombie hasn't really dabbled in that yet. I don't think. I haven't seen. The last one was pretty cool, where his wife played the lead.
Right.
Salem's which is a Salem. I just screw up his movie's name. The one where, the Lords of Salem. That's it, the Lords of Salem. And my mom has that movie, by the way. I watched it like so many times. How did I screw that name up? But anyway, I liked the part that that his wife played the lead, and she did a great job in it. So,
so now, do you look at your music in the same aspect as you look at, like when you're making a film? Do you look at it as a director, and you're like, okay, this is the profile I'm going for, this is the storyline right here, and then do you put the storyline first and the music into it? Or, I mean, how does that work out for you?
Well, like everything I write is real. In other words, like I don't think of what to write. It just like comes out because they're true emotions or true feelings I've actually lived. So when I write the songs, literally it's already done in my head. Like I already hear the music and the lyrics kind of come out. And then when I go into the studio with the producers, basically, they'll take out their guitar or the keyboards and basically, I'll hum out what or I mean like tap out whatever. It was like a really cool session how they get stuff out of me. But anyway, I'm pretty much hands on with what's in my head to be brought out on with what you hear like now. Like Steel Rock. Like I was very much that's pretty much me. I mean Bruce Summers, like he's the one who produced it from Kidney Thieves, but like he said, he just did exactly what I wanted him to do. Like, he didn't just make a track and then just give it to me. It's like I co-produced all of that.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, at what age were you when you realized this artistic ability in yourself? Like, you said that you had a speech impediment, which I have a speech impediment, and my S is right here. I have.
Well, I stuttered like nobody's business. Like, it wasn't even funny. Like, I used to get beat up by girls at school.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man. And let me tell you what, and you fuckers, and hold on, you fuckers who beat her up, look at her now, you sons of bitches. Anyway.
That's right.
It's true. Like,
she's on our radio show, and she's a rock star, you fuckers. And what are you? You're selling insurance.
Like,
shut up.
At the Pizza Hut,
Exactly.
Or selling insurance or some shit. Yeah, State Farm.
Yeah, but they did it a lot. And so I just that's why I just stopped having friends. So I just kind of like just stayed home, and I would just like read, and I would just write and stuff, like my emotions down. And it's kind of like how, this came to pass. But since I was like 5 years old, I can remember back to 5 years old, of me doing that. So it's just been like forever.
It's kind of a sad injustice right there, is that it's the one thing that hurts you the most as a child right there, and being talked to because of your speech impediment and being beat up on made you who you are right now and empowered you to do what you do now. And it's one of those things right there where you see it time and time again, and you don't want to take it back because it made you who you are, but you want to go back and tell those people, or the younger generations, don't do this to people. But in the same aspect, it informed you. It made you.
Yes, this is true. This is very true because
it's one of those sad injustices in the life that we live right here. It's the weakness sometimes that you have, and not the people who love you and trust you the most that push you into being better. It's the people who are idiots about it that push you to be even bigger and better.
Negative into a positive, It's just.
Yeah.
Well, you can have two separate sets of influences that influence you both.
Yeah.
In turn, you can have your positive influences like maybe that guitar player that you looked up to when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like you were saying these jerks that just push you through a living hell and everything. And you just want to be like, okay, I'm going to show them. I mean, I've got a speech impediment too. I mean, and I make fun of myself about it on this show. I mean, it's in our intro. I'm making fun of myself.
We love you every minute.
I'm doing.
Yeah, I was bullied as a kid too, so it probably made me who I am as well. And though there's a saying, and I've never forgot it ever since I heard it, and it goes something like, a compliment you forget after a moment, but an insult you remember forever. And it's so true. It's just we beat ourselves up over the negative things that people tell us, or we're so quick to believe the worst about ourselves, and yet when somebody tells us something good about ourselves, we don't want to believe it, and we're just like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or oh, that's not true, or you're exaggerating. But an insult, we're just so quick to like, yep, that's got to be true, So
I'm going to say something.
Or if you do believe in, go ahead. Or if you do believe in yourself, and they call you cocky or you call you arrogant, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You can't win. You can't win. Exactly. You get over that point where you're like, look, I'm better than everybody else said I was, and you know what? I'm going to show everybody. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, why are you standing up so tall? Who do you think you are?
Exactly.
You're like, really?
And then they want to knock you down. And then they want to knock you
Yesterday
down.
it wasn't good enough. It's like,
I mean,
all right,
it's
guys.
a double-edged sword no matter which way you go, because on the one hand you tell people that you want to feel good about yourself and that take pride in yourself, but then when you do, well, look who thinks they're bad. You can't win.
This is funny. This is funny. It's like, and I've thought this. I've had this thought in my head for a long time, and I'm actually going to come out and say it. But basically, when I first started writing music and writing words and whatnot, learning how to play and everything, I didn't know how. I still, to this day, I don't know how to take a compliment. Somebody says, "Oh, that's freaking awesome." Thanks. Okay, thank you. And I don't know how to. I really don't know how to take it. But if somebody says, "Dude, that sucks," I'm more likely to be able to. Okay, it sucks. Are you? And I'll start thinking, okay, is this person a douchebag or does this really suck? And as a result, I'll turn out something even better.
Yeah, see, I have the same problem. I don't believe it when everyone says that I'm good at something, but if I'm the most self-critical person, as Will and Thunder will tell you, like, I'm always like, oh, no, I could have done that better, or that wasn't as good as I thought it was. So I know that it's hard. You have to be your own worst critic sometimes.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, sometimes you don't.
I've got a great idea for a song.
Okay.
I'm finally great enough to be degraded.
Sounds like a country song.
I mean, it's just right there because that's the whole idea we're talking right there. Is you push yourself so much forward and everybody loves you, and once you get to that pinnacle, they're like, oh, they think they're too good for everything.
Yeah.
Now you just made me think of that song in the Karate Kid, that You're the Best.
You're the best around. That just showed my age right there. Anyway, and I knew the song.
Too.
Oh, man. I just lost my whole rock and roll aura right there. Anyway.
So I got a question. I mean, I really didn't get to into any deep discussion with Dominic or anything. Are you able to talk about the scandal?
Sir, I have no idea. I still didn't know what was going on with the whole thing. All I know is that it got dropped. The charges got dropped, of course. That was kind of weird altogether, to tell you the truth. Just I don't understand any of it. I'm not talking about it, but because it's just. Like I said, I have no idea. I'm still in the dark about the whole thing. Only thing I know is that I was just defending myself from accusations that were blatantly false. that were made about me, and then they were dropped. So apparently somebody just kind of was like, okay, it was not cool what we're doing. Who knows? Seriously, I don't know why they did it or the reasons why they did it, but I just know that they dropped it. So.
Well, how did it all get started that you know of? Or are you able to discuss that? Or?
Well, I mean, like it got started with my ex-publicist who did a scandal basically, who said I was engaged to Manson instead of Madonna Wayne Gacy, which was the keyboardist basically, which we was living together. And you know, it was known that it was done by the publicist, but for some reason, they just wanted to believe that it was me. I don't know if it was a personal vendetta. Who knows? Like, seriously, like I said, I have no idea what was really going on behind the scenes because I was left out in the dark. Only I know is I just got these charges, and they're trying to defend myself. Something else will pop up that I did wrong. I'm like, what the hell? So, yeah, so basically it got dropped. Yeah, so basically it got dropped, and like I said, I just want to focus on my music because now I see how scandalous Hollywood really is and how rude people can be to do something to a person that they know they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, there is a lot of professional jealousy in the business. I mean, you see that a lot where people just don't want to see other people succeed, or they get intimidated by anybody else who might even possibly show a shred more talent than they think they have, or that's the part of the business that kind of sucks. That I see a lot of.
Like I said, I've learned a lot, and I learned a lot about who to trust, as in like representation as well, because I wasn't represented right, and I'm glad that Dominic came on the scene because he did my damage control. So like I said, I learned a lot from it. I still have no idea what really was going on behind the scenes because a lot of it was done without me. Obviously, I was like, what the hell, like. So I just kept defending myself, like, okay, this is, like, weird. And then the more I defended myself, the more something else weird to come out that I said or did. So basically I'm reading about myself after I'm supposed to do something, basically, that didn't happen. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm just glad that it's over, and I just want to focus on just being an artist and doing my music and my film. And I'm single now, and I think I'm going to remain single because I don't want to bring another person's baggage into my life. Because a lot of it had to do apparently with like who I was with, who I was dating at the time, which is his bandmate, and they had like this personal vendetta against each other. And so I'm like, that's between you guys. It has nothing to do with me. So that's something. Now I'm single. I want to stay single, and I just want to do my career.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds like you're on the right track. I mean, the music is cool, and I really like it, and it sounds like you're doing really good with your movies, and. So, is there any place we can view your movies or see your movies or? Well, the movies, they're not out yet. You took me pictures in Phoenix, is FENIX Pictures. They're the ones putting it out. So, like I said, I got signed for a 3-year deal on it with Lost Empire. So apparently, so they're still making good on it because the 3 years is basically almost up, but. I couldn't do anything because the whole Manson trial thing that was going on. Now, we're going to go to trial. It didn't even go to court. It just was dropped, basically. But still the whole situation that was still going on every time we tried to promote the movie or we tried to shoot or something like that. It was like another incident that was going on in the media about me where I couldn't focus on shooting the movie. And so we did finish Angel One Eye, but I still have to do Unholy Wood. I have to do The Reaper's Cry. I have to do Crimson Cane. I have to do The Rise. I have to do The Witch's Brew. All these I have contracts for that, that I have to produce and have to put out. So now I'm focused only on that and my music, and that's it. Like, everything else I didn't care about. Like, people, I think if they really want to say about me, I don't care anymore. I just want to, be successful and have a good life and take care of my mom when it comes that time for me to take care of my mom. Because I'm not just doing this for me, Yeah. Because she's probably not even saying this. Well, but she's blind, so I know it's going to come a day here soon that I'm going to have to take care of her, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me from doing that. By being jealous, by putting out mean rumors, trying to stop me in doing what I love to do in my life. Because it's not just for me; it's for my family, and it's also for me to help others. That's awesome.
So what song should we play next week? I've got Color of Love, I've got 2000 Sins, I've got Bad Behavior.
I like them all.
Well, do you have a story about any one of them in particular that you want to share? Or?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, like I said, like basically when you hear the song, whatever I'm saying is actually real. I lived it. So like, Bad Behavior. That's the song I wrote when I just realized it doesn't matter if I'm a good person, if whether I go to church or not, which I used to go to church. I haven't been to church in years because I realized Christians don't like me. So I've came to the conclusion of that they think I'm a witch, and they have called me that. And one person's all like, well, you had to be in here anyway, so we don't know why you're even here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired of people being mean to me in my life, just saying rude stuff. So, Bad Behavior is like my ex-boyfriend, not the recent one, but my ex-boyfriend, we had broken up, and I just decided just to have fun. So everything I'm doing in the song is Bad Behavior, and the music video is Bad Behavior, so.
All right, well, we'll play that one. This is Bad Behavior by Seraphim Ward on the Will and Thunder Show. We'll be right back.
Cover it up. I'm doing
Hi, welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That, of course, is Bad Behavior by our guest tonight, Seraphim Ward. I really like what I've heard from you. What is the name of your album?
Time Heals All Wounds, but then the one has Thaw, THAW. That's the approved version.
Yeah, I really dug that song, actually. That's you can really hear the Nine Inch Nails influence, and
yeah,
I hear a lot of Depeche Mode influence as well. And actually, I would like to review your album for Sonic Cathedral, if that would be cool.
That'd be awesome, actually.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I will. Thanks, Will. So, can I get the album from Will, or I guess we can set it up something, or.
Yeah,
that was
Dominic,
awesome. I like it.
Or I can send it to you.
Oh, cool.
Dominic can hook that up if you need him to.
Yeah, I'll
all right. You can
look
me up on Facebook or something.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So where is Thunder here?
I'm
where's
here.
Thunder?
Okay,
I'm right here.
We hadn't heard from you, which is unusual. We thought that maybe
I know. Look, I'm listening to you. Now, actually, I'm having some technical difficulty with my phone right here. I don't know what's going on. It's cutting in and out right now. So if you lose me, I apologize early for it. But I don't know what's going on with it. I've been sitting here messing with it, trying to get in and out with it. So
the aliens got you again.
the aliens or whatever. No, it's not aliens. It's AT&T. Sons of bitches.
Oh, God, don't even get me started.
But anyway, I really appreciate your style of music, and I love that you're a filmmaker. I love the whole idea, because it fits so well together. We had a person, one of our guests on our show earlier last year. His name was Mick James, and he's doing the same thing. He's a songwriter, musician, and he's actually wrote his own movie right there that he's producing right now. And there's a lot of the same influence that's going to both things right there. When you're doing dialogue for a song, you are writing a script.
Exactly.
It's not so much for visual, but it's for mental. It's just like when you read a book. When you listen to a song, it's very similar right there. You're trying to point a picture. You're painting a picture with words and music. In a book, you write it with just words, and with a movie, you actually get the visuals. It's so complicated in there. And as I hear in your music, and I can't wait to see what you put out there on film right there, because I love the whole independent filmmaker, and especially as we were talking the genre of not just horror, but, darker independent filmmaking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The ideas are in the process. And you said that you're the only one you like behind your camera.
Well, yeah, because oh man, I just can't breathe. If I get someone else a camera and I'm just directing it, I can't breathe, because I'm okay, this is not in my head, because I already know how far my imagination and how in dimensions I go, and not a lot of people have been there. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to explain to them the angles and how to do something, they're okay, I can do it. But then when I look back, I'm okay, yeah, you didn't do it right. So then, just to save time and budget, I'll just grab the camera and do it myself.
Right.
And then I
do understand it. And I do understand that right there. And it does make a lot of sense. The thing is, though, now, when it comes down to it, now, if it ever gets to a point where you're getting to big budget movies right here, and as I said, with the exceptional shots right there, because as well as I do, especially if you're doing a conversation piece right there, and now you have a dual shot right there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can take the time to do each shot different, where you're looking at one person and you can have the conversation and they do it their way, and then you switch your camera or use the other camera and do your shot. Now what's going to – and I understand your view on things, but are you willing to elaborate or maybe get with another cameraman or another artist like yourself to do that camera work for you?
Well, like I said, we have to have at least two cameras or three to cover, just for full coverage.
Right.
Yeah, but as long as I have a camera in my hands, I can shoot exactly where I see it. It's fine because we can cut back and forth, which makes for a better picture anyway. I mean, like I said, I've tried that before, but when I'm missing the element that really got me to where I'm at right now as being a filmmaker, I have to, say, okay, like this is not. It just looks like a Seraphim Ward film, basically. So that's why I always have to make sure that I have the camera in my hand, as well as whether I have one or two camera guys. Yeah.
Now, a quick question for you, real quick. In your filmmaking that you've done so far, and you've got the camera in your hand, have you ever had a moment where you're trying to get a scene and something outside happens that makes the scene better? That you weren't expecting, it just happened. At that moment right there, something just happens, and you're like, wow, that just made it even better than I thought it would be.
Well, I mean, yeah, that happens. It happens a lot, actually. I mean, that's why, like I said, like I'm a free spirit, okay? And like when I do something, if you ever seen me shoot before, which you haven't, but when you record me shooting, which that has been the talk to do, because I don't know, I'm like I'll be on the floor to get that shot, I'll bend over to get that shot, I'll be like a spy
I understand.
to get that shot.
Trust me, I understand.
Right.
Look,
go ahead.
I had one shot when I was in film school. One of our first projects, we had to do a music video, and we did Fade to Black from Metallica. One of our scenes, in the fast part on the end, we decided that we were going to drive to a graveyard, because if you drive to a graveyard where the tombstones are, it kind of fit the separation between the tombstones went with the song with the and so we drove through and looking at the back sides of the gravestones right there, it kind of fit the song tempo right there. So as we're driving through, what we did, because we didn't have a track and we didn't have a camera to go on the track and all that, so we used a minivan and set the camera up on a tripod in the minivan, and we used that as our track right there.
Smart.
Well, as we were driving through, my buddy's van overheated, and the steam from the engine laid smoke across the screen as we were filming it. So it looked like it had rolling fog. And it was one of those things that we did not anticipate, but it looked so good when we were editing right there.
Right.
Now that opens up a whole other question, because I was just going to say, Thunder, that sounds like you had a Spinal Tap moment. So now I have to ask Seraphim if she's had any Spinal Tap moments, either in while making music or while shooting her movies, because this is something we ask all of our guests. Oh, well, all right,
we have
let me cue the music. Well, I got music, so let me cue it up real quick.
I got it.
These go to 11.
Turn it to 11.
You can't press that.
Final tap, 5 seconds.
What's wrong with being sexy?
He died. He died in a bizarre gardening accident. Thousands of people spontaneously combust each year.
Hello, Cleveland! Hello, Cleveland!
Hello, Cleveland. Hello.
Hello, sir.
So go ahead. If you've got, we want to hear your Spinal Tap moment.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is funny. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes, we're here.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we wouldn't leave you alone. We would not leave you alone here in the dark. We would not leave you alone in the dark. It's Tuesday night, and we're here every Tuesday night. We would not leave you alone. I promise you.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, like, we catch a lot of things on camera, by the way, when I shoot. And like, for instance, the music video we did for Bad Behavior, and we also did at the same exact time while I was on set, what do you call it, photo ops, like, press photos. And now you could also see this on my website, that my pictures all turn paranormal, like, there's actually serpents in my pictures with me. And literally, I've turned into one a couple of times. I'm not lying. And it...
Oh, my goodness.
but it's actually a true story, and I'm laughing. Because, like, I'm like, what the hell? But it's right there. Like, that's not photoshopped in. if you go to my current news page and like some of my galleries, none of that stuff is photoshopped. That's as is. That's shot as is. And there's a big ass serpent on me. So,
oh no.
You know.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
You don't like reptiles?
I love reptiles. Actually, Will and I, we owned lots of serpents or snakes, if you want to call them that. And actually, Will and I, we owned a 19-foot reticulated python.
Nice.
She was awesome. She tried to eat my face one night.
Oh my God.
You remember that, Will?
Yeah.
Well, I believe
you remember that? Yeah. She was awesome.
Well, you're the dumbass.
She weighed like. Look, she was beautiful.
How much did it weigh? Because like the one that's in the picture has to weigh
300 something. It took 3 of us to get it out of the cage.
Oh wow!
3 grown men. Oh yeah, I mean it was in a 6 foot long by 4 foot wide by 8 foot tall plexiglass and 2x4 cage, and we throw in leg quarters to it. It was awesome. You'd stand there with the tray of leg quarters from the grocery store. You'd throw one in there,
oh my God.
and she'd grab the first one. No, she'd grab the first one, and then she'd sit up and wait for the next one. You could throw it in there, and she'd snag it out of the air. She was awesome. Well, we had probably 10 other snakes at the time too.
Wow.
Yeah, we had Will, you and Corey and I had actually Will was on the news in our town because we had one of our not our reticulated python, but one of our Burmese pythons. It was an albino Burmese. It was an albino, right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was in the back of his car in a Rubbermaid container with a lid. It pushed itself out of the container. No, this is a Spinal Tap moment. Pushed itself out of the container and wrapped itself around the steering column of his. It was your Mercury Cougar, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh
yes,
my God.
His Mercury Cougar, and we had to have the fire department came out. It was on the news and everything.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This was a 12.5-foot albino Burmese python.
Wow.
And we had
cool.
red-tailed boas. We had all different kinds of snakes, and I had a iguana and 2 Savannah water monitors, and we had all different kinds of serpents.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Some people don't like reptiles, but I mean, I've become accustomed to them for some reason.
They're actually very, very cool. The best ones to get are little bearded dragons. You buy them, they're about the size of your pinky, and they grow about the size of your hand, and they're like little puppy dogs. They want to sit in your lap and be petted. They're awesome.
I want a big one. I want like a huge one.
You want a big lizard?
No, not a lizard. I mean, like
there's a snake.
That's what they are.
Well, no, a reptile. Like I don't know. They're pretty cool.
Okay.
Seraphim, I just sent your Twitter page. I just linked you with our buddy Mick James and as well as another band called Terminatrix. They're from South Africa, and they actually host their own annual horror movie festival down there in Cape Town, and they do like industrial goth style music. They have a female singer. I just linked you with both of them on Twitter. So Mick James has already added you. But,
nice.
Nice.
Yes, I would like
to
see at some point a collaboration between you and Mick James. I think that would be awesome.
I'm open.
Well, I was going to ask too. Speaking of collaborations, I mean, are there any? I'm curious to know: are there any actors or people in the film industry that you'd like to work with or have in your movies in the future? Like, who is your dream cast, so to speak?
I don't know if I have a dream cast, to tell you the truth.
Not Sega Dreamcast, Thunder.
Besides me. No, I mean...
Wow, that's a good one.
I'm just kidding.
There's not anyone I really was like, oh my God, I'm working with that person. Just because the way I direct, I'm a very hands-on director, so I can make even a non-actor become a good actor just by my directing skills. But I would like to work with Keanu Reeves. Come on, I've always liked his work. But I don't know. To tell you the truth, like, I'm not a big actor fan when it comes to, like, now musicians, yes. Like, I like to call them
no, I wasn't going to say actors, but, like, when you make your movies or when you put down ideas for movies, are there particular people that you see in your mind? They don't necessarily have to be actors, but are there people that you see in your mind, like, wow, I'd really like to see this person play this part, or this part with, or you have somebody particular in mind when you're building these characters or scenes, or
no,
like what musicians would you like to see in your movies or work with?
Well, the thing is, like, when like I said, when movies are already finished, like my songs, and I write them, I've already seen them. That's why sometimes the camera has to be in my hand, because I've already seen the movie. And usually the characters that I see, that's how I cast them. So I don't really go by an actor, a famous actor, or a famous musician when I write.
Right.
And so I just go by being honest to the character that I actually saw portraying, you know, this dialogue that I've seen already, like, in this vision in my head. And it's very vivid, by the way. So, you know, so instead of having, say, a star-studded cast, I would rather have my movie being true to, you know, to the characters. So having even like a no-name actor can bring the life to them. You know what I mean? So it becomes, you know, it becomes like an original instead of like based on star-studded, you know, selling because it's star-studded. Although there will be stars in the movie, but that's not the reason why, you know, I would cast them.
Right, I get what you're saying, but what I mean, I guess what I meant was, have you ever had those moments where when you're building those characters that somebody does pop into your mind? It doesn't have to be a big star or somebody in particular, but, you know, have you ever had those moments where it's like, oh, so-and-so would be really good for this part, or this part would, I could see so-and-so doing really well on that, or something like that?
Yeah, well, there were two, actually, that I can answer on that. One was Toby Hemingway, which he's the one that played on The Covenant.
Oh, okay.
You remember the movie The Covenant? And
I've heard of it.
He was the blonde warlock kid. And so he did come to mind, and that was the Unholywood movie. And Morgan Freeman also in the same movie.
Oh, wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so... I mean, like I said, like I see, like, just because the way that this character was talking and things that he did, I was like, oh, it kind of reminds me of Morgan Freeman. Like, he could totally do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, too, just in particular, if there's anybody that you'd like to collaborate with or work with, not necessarily to be in your movie, but somebody like, wow, this is somebody I really respect, or...
Right. Well, there's, like, Wes Craven's cool. Like, I remember when I was growing up, I used to like him a lot. Clive Barker, for sure. I mean, because I'm in love with Pinhead.
Oh, cool.
I am, too. I think Pinhead is the quintessential bad guy, horror guy of all times. Look, there's only one that stands close to him, and it's not even a bad guy. It's Darth Vader. And it's just my favorite thing of all horror movies of all times was the Hellraiser movie where the statue was in the room and he comes to life from the statue, and he comes out and stands on the stairs of the pool hall, and all he says, he stands there and he goes, and now it begins. And the chains start flying. That is the greatest moment in all of horror film history to me.
Exactly.
Right there. I mean, it just shows right there. You know, and there's some sloppy parts of some of those movies, especially the older ones. When they went to space and shit, I'm like, that's not Hellraiser. But I mean,
that was space.
That right there was the greatest Hellraiser moment of all times.
That was Friday the 13th. Jason went to space.
No, it was not Friday the 13th.
Yes,
no, Hellraiser went to space too.
Oh,
Hellraiser went to space too. Yes, they did.
You know, actually, right now I'm on Facebook with our regular listener. His name is Justin. He's a huge horror movie buff. Hi, Justin. He'll probably message me right now to confirm who went to space in all the horror movies. Like, there is not.
They did. Jason went to space and Hellraiser went to space.
Hey,
they did both of them.
Real quick, I have to make the announcement. We have to do every week at this time. In 5 minutes, the show is going to go off the air. However, that's just our time slot. the show will keep recording after that, and in a day or two I'll have it up on YouTube, and you'll be able to listen in its entirety. But so don't freak out when the show goes away. It's not, there's no technical difficulties or anything, and we'll have it up in a couple of weeks. But let's play another song to kind of segue into the overtime segment. Is that okay with you? You want to stay on, Seraphim?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll keep talking to you. And
yeah, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this interview.
Yeah, me too.
I love the whole music and film aspect because it's both of what I enjoy doing, both and what I wish now being on radio I've had the opportunity to do all three things, and I love all of it. So yeah, let's keep talking.
Well, it looks like the still song will be just enough to get to the end of the show, to the end of the live feed. So do you want to just play that?
Yeah, go ahead and play one more song right here, and then we'll come right back.
We open with that. We're going to play Color of Love, and we'll be right back. Yeah, we'll be right back with Seraphim Ward on the Will and Thunder Show.
Yeah.
welcome back to the Will and Thunder Show. That, of course, is Seraphim Ward with the song Color of Love. Another awesome song. I'm really digging your music. I think when you send me the album to send to Christiana here, I may have to get the whole thing myself. And I keep saying this, but maybe I'll even review it on my blog, which I've been severely neglecting lately over the past couple months. But
yeah, how long ago did the album come out? How long has it been out right now?
Friday, 13th of June.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah, so it was on Friday.
It's awesome that it came out on Friday. You said Friday the 13th?
Yes.
Of course.
Very cool. Very cool. You know, look, it's just epic right there.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You
well, no, just like it was just kind of the irony was that was the date. So I was like, wow, the universe really loves me.
It's pretty cool, right?
That's so awesome.
Now your
so
band,
now,
are they studio musicians? Are they anybody that we know, or and when you play shows, I mean, do you have a set lineup?
Okay, now what did you say the first part of it was what?
Oh, sorry.
The first part about the musicians, I kind of like faded in. I didn't quite.
Are they studio musicians, or are they anybody that we would know? I mean, we're over here on the East Coast.
No, they're not studio musicians at all. There's Godhead, the band Godhead, which is Jason Miller, the lead singer. He helped produce. Also, Bruce Owens from Kidney Thieves. He helped produce. Yeah, and I mean they're names. They're like Keith Owen Band and Marilyn Manson never signed Godhead, so he's a producer. Yeah, and Nitsa Rep as well. Julie Beeson from Nitsa Rep also helped produce the album.
Awesome.
But these are the guys themselves. These are not studio players.
Okay,
cool.
Is
this your first album, or do you have other albums out?
Well, my very first one was Mute Malevolence. That was like a while ago. That was like one of my first ones, like literally when I was coming out of stuttering. And I did add some of those tracks onto this one. That's what's called Time Heals All Wounds, just because it's like kind of like takes you through a journey from then to now. So you can tell the difference from like which ones I just now was me now, and then from me being broken then.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
So go ahead, Will.
So when you do your shows and everything, the band that's on the album is the band that's on stage with you?
No, because we share members. Like a few times, Guy had backed me up. They said he let me use some of his players, and so just like players from here and there. But the guys usually kind of make sure that I'm okay. If I have a show and make sure I sound okay, like. His Bruce, like he's there at the shows, make sure everything is wired up right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So same thing with Judith Beast from Nitsa Rep. He's always there to make sure things is wired up right. So, yeah. I'm pretty.
So are you touring right now, or do you have any plans to tour, or?
Well, I do. Like now, like I said, everything just became official to where I can actually breathe, and now just like be an artist. So yes, we're planning like on our international tour basically. But I was wanting to start with festivals though.
Awesome.
Yeah, just so that way it can get me out there. It can increase my fan base. Plus I'll be playing like almost every single day, and that's kind of like what I want to do. Like, and then get into like the mode of maybe opening for another like a major band or something. But I just really would like to do festivals so I can increase my fan base and just really get out there and just do it.
Right. Well, you definitely
actually
maybe you tour with Mick James. I think that would be an excellent.
Is it Mick Jagger?
Get a little road work in there, and get a little time under your belt right there. What about your movie career? Where do you plan on going from that right now?
Well, we're shooting right now. We're starting to do I'm sorry. The Devil's Reject, this movie. I got Rob on my mind, see? We're doing The Graveyard Girl, and that's a paranormal documentary interactive. And basically it's 7 people, 3 days in a graveyard. And
wow, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
It does.
The thing is, like, they're not actors, so when we cast for it, we didn't cast for actors. We just, it's an open ground because I don't believe to cast for something like that because it's real, you know. And the whole point of us doing it is because for some reason, if there's any kind of paranormal activity or something supernatural or something just weird going on in an atmosphere or dimension, when I'm there, it presents itself. Like you'll see it, not only me, but everyone else in the room sees it. You can get it on camera, so that means that it's actually there. And that's how we came about doing this show, was because the other like ghost hunters out there, you don't really see anything, and you don't really hear anything. It's always like they're anticipating on something that's never even there.
Right. Did you hear that?
And you want
Did
the
you see
reactions of everybody to be real too.
Yeah, exactly. Or they may do like a special effect after, then you know it's like it's not even real, it's a special effect. And like with mine, literally it's like what you see is what you get, and it's not going to be edited to where, you know, we put some kind of, you know, clever special effect, and it's like, no, it is as is. So it's going to be shot. Yeah. So basically, like I said, I'm sure a lot of religions are going to be involved in it. And like I said, Christians are welcome, Jews are welcome, Muslims are welcome. Because like I said, there was a different dimension of gods. And so I understand that. And sometimes actors think that, just a movie we're going to act in or a show, and then they realize, this is kind of real, and then they want to leave. So basically, it's going to be a paper sign that says you understand what you're coming into. And you understand it is a 3-day, thing where you can't leave. So we have to have like a paramedics on site and everything. Have to go by the SAG rules, because it is union. But yeah, basically that's what it is. And so far we have like one slot open, and there's a couple like magazine people going with us. We have like 2 VJs that will be aired live, so it's kind of cool. So everybody there is going to be doing their thing. And I do have a ghost hunter, but I don't hunt ghosts. So I don't know. They just display the stuff when I'm around. But it's kind of like what he does for a living.
See, this is the kind of stuff I would be interested in watching, because I'm not really a huge movie fan, and it's really hard for me to get interested in movies, because so much of what's out there just sounds like the same old stuff over and over. And even the horror movies, like I just don't have any interest in the newer movies, because it just seems like all the same stuff. And something like this sounds really cool because, like you said, it's real, people's real reactions in real time, and then it's just something that you don't really hear a lot of. I mean, you see those reality shows about ghost hunters or psychics or mediums and stuff like that, but even those are contrived to an extent, and the camera's only going to show you so much of what goes on, and they edit certain things to make it look like more than what it is. And so this sounds interesting to me, which is more... So it sounds more like a documentary or something that's more in real time,
Yeah, it is. It is. But, I mean, of course, it will look like film, because I only know how to shoot in film.
Right.
So it's going to be kind of cool, though, because, like you said, it's going to be a documentary, but it's going to look like a film. So that's what we so cool about it, because I only know how to shoot in film.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I'd go and see it. I mean, I imagine it would be like an independent film or released like at the independent film festivals and stuff.
Well, I already have a deal basically. So it depends on So it depends on like where we choose it goes to. Say if we want to go to theater, which they have suggested it goes to theater first. So basically, I have the choice of theater, Redbox, Netflix, Sci-Fi. I have it all basically. So we just kind of like choose what movie goes where. And I think this would be good for Sci-Fi.
And that's cool that you can pick and choose in this day and age.
Yeah.
That you can just...
Well, I think Sci-Fi would be good for this one. Sci-Fi, of course, Netflix, because we want to keep doing more. And this is like just only the first of Graveyard Girl. So we want to keep doing more.
Anybody on this show, I should be close to the Sci-Fi thing since today somebody told me I look like William Shatner. Like an old William Shatner. No, I don't even look like William Shatner. I look like the Priceline guy. That's what they told me.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
It was horrible. No, it was funny. I'm 40 years old. I got a little gray kicking. Yeah, and you know what? I'm a little hefty for my size. I'm 5'6". I weigh 200 pounds. I'm steady. I'm a big guy. And this one girl I work with, she's 22 years old. She's like, you look like the Priceline guy. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Thanks. Yeah.
Poor Thunder.
But I look like a good Priceline guy.
that is funny.
Well, like I said, you should take it as a compliment because Shatner looks really good for his age. And a lot of women find him sexy, so I would roll with that if I were you.
At least if she'd have said you look like the Priceline guy when he had a beard and was a biker, I would have been like, yeah, I'm fucking tough, dude. No, now I look like the old guy in the suit. Everybody shut up, leave me alone. Sons of bitches. It's exactly how I felt at that moment. Do that sound one more time. Do that sound one more time. That's exactly what's inside my head. It's the same thing that my undercarriage made the same feeling right there.
Thunder.
God bless.
Take a salt tablet.
Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys, but I'm old and I got to go to bed. I'm just kidding.
The Jericho.
I have to get another computer.
Oh,
I love you guys. I have to get another computer and find everybody else fucking hotel rooms. Just kidding. I'm here all week. No, not really. I'm on Priceline all week, you sons of bitches.
So would you think of taking Thunder in a stand-up routine as one of your opening acts?
I think it would be fucking brilliant. It'd be better than Bill Cosby. Unless I had bills. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I? I didn't go there. I'm sorry. My bad.
Is he still around?
Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? Sorry.
Oh God, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble.
I did not mean to go that far. I really didn't mean to. It just slipped out right there.
Apparently, it never did that with.
Man, this is a basketball game with symbols.
That's funny. With symbols.
You're just on fire tonight, Thunder.
I apologize. Look, I did.
Not like the last time when you were literally on fire.
Well, yeah, it's happened once or twice. Look. Skin grafts were good.
Skin grafts are good.
So,
I really did not mean to. I didn't mean to get it this far off track. I was just saying one little thing right there. Did not mean to get it that far off track. I promise you.
He said, "I promise you." That's fine.
So, are there any festivals that you're trying to, that you're talks with to maybe get onto?
Probably not. Something that's not in America. I don't say I don't like America, but they haven't been too nice to me here. At least Hollywood.
Well, I mean, we're not really a festival country. Like, the festival scene is not really, it hasn't really gone over very well here in the U.S.
Yeah. So I have like a European festival, something like somewhere in Germany or Europe. Even
so like
Bollywood's
Wacken.
cool. I'm sorry?
Like Wacken.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I just want to perform. That's all I want to do. And just put out tracks, and I think I'm going to start putting out singles instead of waiting until the whole album's done. Because, you don't know, what song's going to hit. It's going to make that one, just going to be that breakthrough song.
Right.
Well, that'd be cool if you made it to one of those festivals. I will look out for you. I'd love to go to one of those European festivals someday.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to make it there. That's not even a question about it. I want to make sure. Like I said,
right.
I'm not too fond of America, actually. So, I just, being out of States for a little bit would be great for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish we had better festivals here in the U.S. because we just don't, it seems our festivals are always just thrown together at random, and it's just, who's popular right now?
Right.
Oh,
like
okay,
Coachella.
let's put them all.
Yeah, like Coachella and like Ozfest. Like those are two cool ones I'd like to do here.
Right.
Well, what about Rocklahoma or even like Rocklahoma or something? That's more along the lines of like 80s hair bands and stuff. But I mean,
there's also festivals, like smaller festivals that are for more maybe singers such as yourself, like Flight of the Valkyries or oh God, I can't think of the name of it, but it's a female metal festival. They had a Sound of Thunder played there a few months ago.
They
What's
had one
that?
called Lilith, wasn't it? Lilith, and it was like female musicians.
Mhm. Yeah. Flight of the Valkyries is, I believe, all female musicians. But that's in Baltimore, I think, in the Baltimore area. So they do have festivals here in the States, but usually the thing of it is with the festivals here, they're either the huge ones like Ozfest, which is more concentrated on getting mainstream acts or what's mainstream in rock music and not so much bringing up the independent people, or you get the smaller ones like Flight of the Valkyries or Prague Power, which are more adapted to, or caters more to the independent artists or lesser-known artists, but the problem is they're all located in one place. So unless you have the money to travel to Atlanta or Baltimore or mostly back east where all these places are, a lot of people aren't going to go to them just because it's, well, do I really want to spend $300 on an airplane ticket to go see a bunch of bands that I never heard of just to see the one or two bands that I'm there to go watch? So that's kind of why we're not really a festival type of country, because they do that in Europe. They will, I mean, Wacken sold out, in 24 hours? And it's not even until next year. Next year's festival already sold out in 24 or 48 hours, and not even all the bands have been announced. It's just because festivals are kind of a way of life out there. They'll go to these festivals for 3-4 days, and it doesn't even matter if they're seeing one or two bands. They will go and camp out and make it a whole event, and we don't really do that.
There's a lot of. There's a lot of festivals that go around the United States, man. And I hate to hear that about there's a lot of metal festivals that go overseas, but there are a lot of music festivals go around the country right here. I mean, Bonnaroo's a huge concert here in Tennessee right here, and there's all different kinds of bands. It's maybe a little more hippie based, but then you have Memphis in the Park. This is a big concert, man. They've had bands from AC/DC, Iron Maiden, ZZ Top, big bands. I mean, all the time. And we've got big festivals. I mean, you go back, one of the best festivals I went to was what the hell is it? Lollapalooza was awesome, man. And the best of all was the first music festival, the best of all times. My uncle played there.
Oh, nice.
Go on, say it. They
have one in New Orleans called the Voodoo Fest too. Yeah. So I mean, you do have them here.
There's festivals for everything, but the problem
there's
is
plenty. There's plenty of music festivals. And look, local. You go to Seattle, one of the greatest music festivals I've ever been to. It was there, and it was live music, local bands. They played around this huge water fountain right there. It was awesome, man. And they had arts and crafts and these local bands. Awesome. At the end of the show, they had one live band playing in the stadium right there. That happens all over the country. You can find them anywhere you go. You have to look for them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
that's
we're doing right now,
there.
though. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I don't care if I go out of the country or what. I'm just going to go. Like I say, it's probably good to get out of America for a while anyway.
Yeah, as long as they want you to
play. Just live the dream, man. And you know what? Look, I mean, you're right there, and you're the artist of artists right here. I mean, you're doing right now not just music, but you're doing your movie thing right here, and that's what it's. And when you're an artist, whether you're a musician only, or if you're actually a painter or an illustrator or whatever, art is art. And if you put your heart and soul into it and that's what you love right there, that's what you need to do right there.
Exactly.
And the people
just
will,
love what you're
recognize
doing.
that. And
Exactly.
people
And you know
always notice that. They always know the difference between a true artist and somebody who's just in it for the money or is not.
Exactly.
Here.
And you hit the trifecta right there. As you said, you like reading, but what got you into it was writing because of the situation you were with your situation you were in. I'm not going to say that you had a speech impediment. No, you had a problem speaking, but you choose to be a writer. You choose to be a writer, and in your writing, you chose to read, which helped you with your speech impediment right there, because within reading, with learning, I mean, that helped you right there. And then you became a musician and a artist in the movie thing, and, and writing movies and, seeing your vision come to life on stuff. See, that right there is what it's all about right there. And that's what we talk about right there. It's about living your dream and being an artist. And
right.
we actually, kind of look at the music end of it. But, I mean, the whole thing's the same situation right there. It's about being an artist and living your dream right there and figuring out how can I get out to the people right there. Right,
exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. It's like I just like I said, I want to get out and just do it. It doesn't matter if it's to 100, 200 people, because it starts somewhere, and it always grow. Like actually like the band Creed. I hope Scott Stapp does another album. And I know it sounds weird coming from somebody like myself, but I actually enjoyed some Creed.
Actually, Creed came from Florida, and actually Central Florida, where Will and I are from Central Florida. Creed was originated right there, and they created a base right there. And it's the same thing as a musician. If you only play for 5 people one night, you play for 5 people. We were talking about this tonight, that we have some artists.
Yeah, it comes back to what you were saying a few minutes ago.
We talked to, earlier tonight about how we have some guests that were big 80s, huge superstars that are coming back into the genre right now, or coming back into the music scene, and they don't want to come on our show because we don't have 10,000 listeners.
Well, we don't have proof
every
that's
night.
the reason why, but it's kind of...
Well, I'm just what our thing is. But you know what the thing is? You know what? Whether we have 5 listeners, 10 listeners, or 20 listeners, if you come on our show and 5 people hear your music tonight and hear about your movie, and they watch your movie, they listen to your music, they love you, and they tell 10 people, you went from having 5 fans to having 50 more fans.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of what you did tonight.
Don't know. These bands that are rejecting our show, they don't realize that we're a magical show and we've made things happen.
We are magical. Actually, we have.
Yes, they have reunited bands. We have put bands on the Billboard charts, so
we have.
We would not be surprised to hear if after you've been on our show that something magical will happen for you too.
Well, I'm
that.
already working on it because
that's right. Get her with Nick James. That's right.
I've been chatting with him on Twitter. He's going to check out your music, and he followed you on Twitter. You probably follow him on Twitter, and
I'll do that.
I'm telling you, the theatric, the style of music. I mean, he's a little more rock, like sleaze rock metal with an industrial twinge to it. But
that's right.
Okay.
But
still great ideas.
He's also,
but still got the same. And I'm telling you, mentality, music wise, or not just music wise, but movie wise, I can see the similarities.
Exactly. So I mean,
and listen, and I'm telling you right now, do not forget the Thunder Music. I am a excellent cinematographer. I promise you, I am. I won a Golden Globe Award for 2 videos I made in college, so I just didn't pursue it any further than that. So
why not?
No, actually, I did. Absolutely. I created the greatest camera angle without a cameraman.
Nice. Well, the thing is, if you're a cinematographer, then it's kind of like you make the magic happen. Really, the editors and the cinematographer makes the magic happen in the film.
Exactly.
It's as simple as, you know what? If you know the director's dream and you can portray it with him, then you can make it happen.
Well, the director works like with the editor. The editor does nothing without the director. So basically, the director is the one that's really making the magic, but you have to have a great editor too, because if you have one who can't really do what you want, then you're limited to your project.
And the editing comes to seamlessness right there. I mean,
exactly.
we could use. Look, I need to get your number, and we need to talk about filmmaking on another note sometime off the air, and that would be fantastic. I'll get your number from Will, and I could talk filmmaking with you for hours and hours on end.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for your time out to be a part of this.
This has really been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can have me on whatever you want. Because like I said,
we'd love to have you come back. Sure.
Yeah, maybe like
Anytime.
after I do Graveyard Girl, so that way you can actually see what I'm talking about with like the interacting with the with the dimensions and like with the people.
Absolutely. You know, we'll get this together, and when everything's ready to roll, we'll bring you back on the show, and we'll do a whole thing. And Will, I know you can find a way to, not on the show that we can't do a video feed, I don't believe, but after the show. I mean, you're the tech
cool,
guy.
Actually, what I'm thinking is maybe when the movie is out, like, do come back on the show, and I don't know how we would be able to do this, but for example, if we were all able to watch it simultaneously in our respective places, like do a movie commentary during the movie, like react.
Cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really
That would
fun.
be awesome.
Okay.
Well, we'll get this whole thing out. If not, maybe we'll have to find a way to do a video viewing or something somehow.
Yeah, I've heard of. I mean, there was another show that a friend of mine hosted. Had nothing to do with music, but it was about more about like 80s pop culture stuff. And they would do that. They would go back and watch old shows, and him and the host would watch them simultaneously, and they would comment over the episode and talk about like stuff they liked about the episode or what they remembered. And it got me thinking that would be something cool for us to do. Watch this movie and kind of do a video commentary on it, including with
That'd
you,
be
the director yourself, what you were thinking or what. Hey, this is what happened while I was filming this scene.
Right.
So it would be like a live version. It'd be like a live version if you hit the DVD button on the DVD when you have
it. Exactly what it is.
That'd be so fucking cool.
Okay,
that
I'm
would be
up for that.
cool as hell.
So,
yeah, in fact, our listener, our horror movie buff, Justin, just gave a huge thumbs up. He's like, yes, I would love that. I would love to hear that when you guys do it.
Justin, we love you. Thank you for being it. And tell Justin that you know what, we love him being here every week, man. He's right there and he talks in and he pegs in. And thank you, buddy, man. I can't wait to meet you one day, brother.
Yes, we love our listeners and we love our guests. And yeah, Justin is faithful. He listens every week, and he said, yay, I was on the radio. He's all happy. One of these days, maybe next year when we do our next Halloween special, we'll have him come in and talk horror movies and stuff.
That's right. That's right.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know what? I just want to say one time, thank you for being on our show. It was awesome. I mean, I love everything that you do right there because, you know, as a musician and once filmmaker, I like everything you do right there, and I understand the complexity and the artistic thought it comes into doing both of those right there.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure being on your show.
Yeah, it was
really fun to have you. Yeah, I had a great time.
Now, on our way out, we're going to play the last song that I have here, which is 2,000 Sins. Is there a backstory on that one?
Well, I'm sure I have more than 2,000 sins now. But you know, basically that was at a time in my life to where I was always trying to get things right. As I was saying, like I actually tried the whole church thing and just like living by the books, if you would, and it just wasn't working out. And I always fall short, and I just felt that, you know, there's nothing I could do really except for, you know, I was a sinner, you know. And I was trying to get right with Elohim, which is like God, and it just like it didn't work. And so hopefully I'm on the right path in that area, but 2,000 Sins is kind of like about that. Like literally, you know, somebody who just kind of like, who's wrong, who's a rebel, who just like, you know, no matter what you do, is not working out.
Right.
Okay, well, once again, thanks a lot for being on the show. We need to kick that applause going. Seraphim Ward, tell us how we can get your album, your social media, and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, it's available on iTunes, on Amazon, eMusic. You can also stream it on Spotify. It's Time Has Our Room Thaw, the THAW caps. That's the official approved release one. And my website is seraphimward.com, which is SERAPHIMWARD. And siniconproductions.com, which is SINICON productions.com. And also Twitter, Seraphim Ward Off, which is official, and Seraphim Ward and Seraphim Ward God. And, of course, my Facebook was Seraphim Ward.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well, cool. I can't wait to hear the rest of your album.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on our show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Sarah. Nice talking with you. And I look forward to talking in the future, man. Maybe we can collaborate on some film later down the line sometime.
Okay, absolutely. I would love that.
All right.
Nice talking with you.
You
Have
too.
a good night.
Have a good night. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good night. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Seraphim Ward, and we're going to play the song 2000 Sins from her album Time Heals All Wounds, and we'll see you next week.
called the Will and Thunder Show? Okay, cool. And it's the Will and Thunder Show.
Hello, everybody. This is Pamela Moore, and you are listening to the Will and Thunder Show.